1-800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
This message starts with a great offer from Big Berkey Water Filters because we don't want you drinking dangerous water 1 minute longer. Right now, purchase any filter system from BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com to get your choice of 2 Berkey Sport bottles, a KDF shower filter, a set of fluoride filters, or our new sight glass spigot absolutely free. Why do this? Because over 60% of municipal water is fluoridated, and at less than 2 cents per gallon, Berkey Water Filters purify both treated and untreated water, removing dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and other contaminants. Big Berkey water filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, so they're perfect for rainwater collection systems and emergency preparedness. Remember, Big Berkey includes free shipping on every order over $50, and GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BIGBERKEY waterfilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call today 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Okay, I talked a lot with Lindsay last night about what the globalists are telling him that turmoil in the Middle East is going to lead to, how that affects the dollar, the time frame for them opening up exploration and the fields that are already there, and the role of China. And then the elitists told Lindsay that after a while, though, the U.S. would be rebuilt. But I want to get into any time frames, any details, exactly what he told you. Then, for the rest of the hour, we're going to take calls specifically on these issues with quick questions or comments for Lindsay Williams. And people that call from the Middle East will go to the head of the line. The problem is the Genesis phone system only has 6 lines, so I'm going to open up our phone lines here in about a minute or two. It's a computer system, so we'll have to turn it on. I just decided to do this. For people in Libya or in Egypt. Not if you know somebody there. If you're in Libya, if you're in Egypt, if you're in the Middle East, we're going to open up a Middle Eastern or North African line, 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-ALEX. And people should be able to call an 800 number for the Middle East, right? Or no? Then give me, can I give them that number? Okay, this is the Middle Eastern line, but it can't be toll-free, I'm told. 512-646-1776, 512-646-1776. That is only the Middle Eastern or North African or Moroccan, where these stage rebellions are going on against old globalist dictators and others. 512-646-1776. We'll probably go a little bit into overdrive today because this is too important. 512-646-1776. If you're in the Middle East, your country code, and then 512-646-1776. And the Genesis number, 800-259-9231 for general callers that have questions for Lindsay Williams. Now, Lindsay, this segment's short, but just boiling it down, because you told me even more last night, how the dominoes will fall. The Middle East, then the oil price, then the opening up for exploration. Did he give you dates? Then this rise of China, who we now know is basically running our government. Even the Associated Press is reporting that, using their debt they hold on us. The cheating of the Arabs. Break it down briefly for us.
Time frame. The end of 2012. You will see the dollar collapse. So I've been told by the end of 2012. That means that the Arabs are going to be double-crossed by the end of 2012, sometimes prior to that. Whenever they are, we don't get the oil supply from the Middle East. This is going to be a major crisis time for America, because not only is it a crisis for you at the gas pump who are having to drive your vehicle to work every day, but it's going to be a crisis for the truckers, the airlines, and a major crisis for the military of the United States of America. And that's the reason that they're so concerned about the Fifth Fleet right now over near around Dubai and that part of the world. So you have a time frame of the end of 2012. One person said to me this morning, they said, Chaplain, it's going to take place in 2011. It was a talk show host called me before your show, Alex, and I said, no, it's not. I said, I've been given the time at the end of 2012. You'd better be ready. They will do this by then. China is the big one. China just made an agreement with Russia where, now, this puts China out of the picture altogether as far as crude oil and natural gas is concerned. China just cut an agreement with Russia. Russia last year became the number one oil supplier of the world. Saudi Arabia took a second place because of Russia's super deep wells, which I've dealt with that subject before on Alex's show. And as a result, China now has agreed with Russia to buy all of the crude oil and all of the natural gas that they want. China will not, do you hear this? China will not be affected by the Middle East crisis because they're now getting their oil from Russia. We will not be able to get it there because they're supplying so much to China. And as a result, we will have to turn to our own oil fields here in America. A time frame that you must be aware of is the end by the end. That means you better be ready a long time before. If you want groceries, you better go to the grocery store and buy 6 months to a year's supply right now, because the dollar is going to collapse in such a manner. See, when crude oil went up this morning, $8 a barrel, it wasn't the crude oil that went up. It was the purchasing power of the dollar that went down. And when that garlic, which went up 100% in 1 week, I know, simple little garlic bulb, you housewives can see this. You went to the grocery store, it went up 100% in 1 week. What did that do? It wasn't the garlic that changed. There's still as many cloves in that garlic as there ever was. It was the dollar that you purchased the garlic with that is going down in purchasing power, regardless of what the Federal Reserve is telling you. You had better go and do what you're going to do, and do it now, and get something for your household and prepare for what's going to happen. China will not be affected by this fuel crisis because they're getting it out of Russia, and they're not using the American dollar for the
All right, so the globalists are on the move. I want to finish up with this rise of China, the decline of the U.S., and then the rebirth of the U.S. Let's finish up with that, then calls.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit eFoodsDirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's eFoodsDirect.com or 800-409-5633.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Can run on.
Okay, we gave out the number for people to call from the Middle East, and we see the phone numbers coming in on our computer system. The Genesis system doesn't have that capability. Ours does, and we don't see any from the Middle East. We see some from other countries, but specifically, I mean, I guess if you have family in the Middle East and they've been telling you what's happening, that's okay as well. But I know we've got listeners in the Middle East. Much of those places, though, still have shut down their internet, especially Libya. But the number's 512-646-1776. I know folks are living on $2 a day on average there as well. But if somebody does call in from the Middle East, we'll try to go to you very, very quickly. 512-646-1776. If you can get through on 877-789-ALEX or 877-789-2539, you're welcome to. But specifically on those numbers I just gave, if you're in the Middle East with comments or any intel for us, I've got, of course, loaded phones on Genesis just with questions for Lindsey Williams. Not only is our radio broadcast and this outreach with information funded by you, these videos will wake folks up. And if you watch Obama Deception in part 2 of it, Fall the Republic, it's basically Obama Deception 2, it shows how the globalists are positioning us for collapse into the world government in their own statements, and it dovetails with everything Lindsey Williams is covering. Check them out on the online video bookstore shopping cart at Infowars.com or call toll-free if you want to call one of the great folks here in our office and order that way, 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. Also, you can see all my films, expanded extras, archives of the radio show in higher quality, the video archive, expanded extras, prisonplanet.tv. It's 15 cents a day, and that funds our huge bandwidth costs, you being members. We also have the new You Are the Resistance, V for Victory, Infowars.com. I think that these are the most handsome bumper stickers we've ever put out. These are basically available at cost at Infowars.com. Let's get these out to people. And that's what I wanted to talk to Lindsey about, was solutions. And because if we're aware of this program, if we're aware of what the globalists are doing, then people politically can stop it and understand the grand design by having the blueprint. And normally when Lindsey gets new information, he puts it out on a CD. It's quicker than a book. His book's out of print or a DVD, but that takes a few weeks to produce. And normally when he's ready, he calls me because now he's ready to get the information out. But I happened to call him right when he'd gotten this information. But he's going into production next week on this. And it's going to break down all these new developments. And I'm told the name is going to be the new DVD video, The Middle East, the rest of the story, that's going to be in production over the weekend. He's going to rush out with the great folks at the Prophecy Club, prophecyclub.com, and get that out. And I asked Lindsey this morning, because obviously folks will want to have this, to show it to people, to share it. There'll also be the archive video of this interview, and it'll be on YouTube and everywhere else. But if you want just Lindsey breaking it all down in even more detail, I mean, is it okay now to tell folks that they could call and pre-order it if they wanted to, Lindsey? Or the Prophecy Club's a big outfit.
They can pre-order right now if they wish. You can either call our toll-free number, or you can go to the website and pre-order. And in the order that the orders are received, we will ship out the moment that the editing has been done on the DVD and the DVD and the VCR. We're going to have both available to you as a unit.
Okay, so that's Prophecy Club. That's prophecyclub.com. And do you happen to have the number in front of you?
888 toll-free, 888-799-6111. And you'll hear an American operator.
And we will give that out again before you leave us. We're going to be going into some overdrive today, into the 4th hour. We're again honored to have Lindsey Williams